And our daughter went to a music camp there once, and I think she was in his dad's.
Good afternoon, Boulder Rotary. Would the owner of a Toyota Highlander who's lost their keys please let me know? I'm not kidding. I actually have car keys for a Toyota Highlander. Going once, going twice. Bill Anderson, where are you?
What year is it? I'll trade you mine.
I don't have that data, but I can tell you it's got 34,000 miles on it. Meryl Glustrom is going to lead us in the pledge and the four-way test.
Yeah. First, the pledge. After me, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty, justice for all. And the four-way test, I want to just say we have an excellent president leaving and an excellent president coming that embody the tenets of the four-way test. So as you say them, take them to heart. Okay. Of the things we think, say, and do, is it truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. So welcome to Boulder Rotary. This is the best place to be on a Friday afternoon, whether you're in the room or on Zoom. And I know we have several people on Zoom today. Hi in Florida down there. I know that you guys are tuned in. So let's do guests and visitors and get Jancy going here with the guests in the room.
Yes, are there any guests or visitors today? Will you please stand up?
Would you please stand up?
Yes, we're looking right at you.
This is my wife, Allison. This is her third or fourth visit.
Yes, welcome.
I'm trying to get her to put her papers in for membership.
I guess not. Thank you.
Thanks, Jancy. I would like to welcome our visitors that we have online today on Zoom. When I call your name, would you like to unmute yourself? I know that Chuck is with us today. Would you like to say hi, Chuck?
Yeah, just again, hi from Seminole Lake. I see Chad's dad is on the call here too, and I'm sure it's a proud moment. I just want you to know that if you have to recycle these officers, that Glenn had 4 cracks of being president here at Seminole Lake. So, but I want to see if this gator goes peacefully to the swamp and this cowgirl comes on and takes the reins here today.
Thanks, Chuck. Also, Dominica, if you'd like to say hi.
Hello, everybody. I was very much encouraged to join you for your handover meeting. And as usual, I am here giving you greetings from Montego Bay, Jamaica, the Rotary Club of Montego Bay. Oh, and I am now the secretary of the club. Thanks for the invitation. Great to be with you again.
Thanks, Dominica. And then Glenn, would you like to say a few words?
Yes, it's always nice to be in Boulder, as you say, on a Friday afternoon. Really wouldn't miss this one with Chad's last meeting here. Very proud of Chad. It's good to see Chad, and it's good to see Allie. So have a good meeting.
All right, I think that was everybody. If I missed anybody, I apologize, but thank you for joining us today and enjoy our program.
Thanks, Vanessa. One of the great traditions since I've been in the club for these transition meetings is to have Bob Stunkel, past President Bob Stunkel, come up and give us a few words of inspiration. So I'd like to invite him to do so now.
President Cassidy announced the theme for the 2022-2023 year already 2 months ago in her presentation to our club, and at that time really highlighted this theme of Imagine Rotary. And so you'll be seeing that banner and that theme throughout this year. And Cassidy, you really did tie that theme also to this as a time of transition. Out of the time of COVID, and then you highlight it in a special way, this is a fresh start for us. And so as we imagine Rotary, and with those words of a fresh start, building on all that has been so good and so strong, and led by Chad and by our board and by our officers. But Cassidy, you went on then to describe this, even in the signature event on that same day, May the 6th. So we've had really a lead-in towards this time. And Cassidy said that she encouraged our imagining different things, like a world where people with differences can talk respectfully to each other and live with each other, have access to clean water, be disaster ready, and so on. With Cassidy as our president, we bring back to mind that in the 1980s, our club was one of those in Rotary International imagining the membership of women in Rotary. And that came about, and our wonderful diversity of membership and service over these decades is a result of advocacy on the part of Boulder Rotary during the 1980s as well. So that's a part to remember, because this year, the president of Rotary International, Jennifer Jones, am I correct on that? Yes. Jennifer Jones, the first woman to serve as president of Rotary. Her full introduction is given in our July Rotary magazine. And the title, along with the theme that President Jones has set, President Jennifer, of Imagine Rotary, she really has also emphasized the area of telling the story of Rotary, so that the title of this longer, and it's good to read the introduction to Jennifer Jones, talks about her as storyteller in chief, and that she is advancing the narrative of Rotary. At the end of that article is the word imagine, once again, in a special context, because the article concludes with her being at a large gathering of Rotary governors and district governors, and calling them all onto the stage, and she led everyone in attendance in a teary rendition of John Lennon's Imagine. In honor of Ukraine, people in the crowd hold hands and sway along, imagining the power of Rotary. And so we draw upon that very familiar song, Imagine, even though some of us may have some difficulty with some of the phrases of that 50-year-old widespread song, Imagine, that has emerged again, even as recently as the Winter Olympics in China. And so that word imagine is among us. May we add to that the imagination that was brought by the prophets of the Hebrew Scriptures. And to draw upon this understanding from Isaiah chapter 11, the Spirit of the Lord shall rest upon us, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, the Spirit of knowledge and the fear of God. And then the prophet Joel also expands upon that biblical message. I will pour out my Spirit on every kind of people. Your sons will prophesy, also your daughters. Your old will dream, your young will see visions. These biblical words are so captured in that wonderful hymn, God of Grace and God of Glory, where the concluding verses always are this prayerful phrase, grant us courage, grant us wisdom for the living of this time. So Chad, with the wonderful theme of serve to change lives, and our leadership have led us to this point. And Cassidy has charged us also with Imagine Rotary. And your help, she says, is needed to turn ideas into reality. So shall it be, Cassidy, and all of us together.
Thank you, Past President Bob. So just a couple of points of reflection on Serve to Change Lives. I wanted to give you a couple of thoughts, a couple of parting thoughts. I'm glad my dad is on because I'm sure he remembers this, but the last time that I was the president of anything that was arguably significant, it was 5th grade. And the year was 1983, and a few months after the school election, they held the Super Bowl in my then hometown of Tampa, Florida. So I made a bet with some of my classmates that Washington would win that game. And on Monday morning, I went to school with bags full of quarters and dimes because I had to pay my bet because Washington got beat pretty bad. So Mr. Randall, of course, saw me and he asked what I was doing, and I said I was paying my bet, and he decided to send me to the principal's office. So my first time as president of anything significant was pretty much marred by a gambling scandal. Now, my hope is that things went a little bit better this time, and while there are things I would do differently, or while there were things that I would like to dedicate a little more time to if I could go back in time, I still think that the club is in a pretty good place for the future. We emerged from the pandemic, we moved into an era of online uncertainty, and now we're meeting again in person. And I think that was the best thing that happened in this past year. So with the help of the great meeting management team, we actually successfully created a model that melds both in the room and on Zoom. And I think we did it pretty well, and I think that sets us up for the future. We also reconsidered membership levels and created a landscape that should lower the barrier of entry for new and prospective members of the club. And I think it's a format and an idea that works for Rotary in the future. We learned if our programs are the backbone of this club, I think the club is standing pretty tall. This past year alone, we've had a James Beard Award winner, a Grammy nominee, an Emmy winner, and the Vice Admiral of the Navy, just to name a few people. So with a dynamic programs committee, I think we're in pretty good shape for the future. We raised money, and better yet, we did it in person. Our amazing fundraising team and our foundation leadership started an annual Service Above Self gala that's poised for even greater success in the future. We completed a visioning process, and with great participation from the club, we decided on a few key points and goals that we'd like to achieve in the next 3 years to make our club even stronger for the future. We also made an impact in the community. Aside from maybe the centennial year, I don't think there's any year I've been in the club where we got this much press, this much newspaper publicity and TV publicity. And we got that for events such as the Jim Swaby Peace Award, the Earth Day Sculpture Dedication, the Service Above Self Gala, and the 9 Mile Corner Pillars Project, just to name a few things. We also helped with the Marshall fires, and we reconnected with BVSD with new projects that I believe bodes well for the future. So what about the future? Well, Cassidy's going to talk about that in a few minutes, but we're a club of great leaders and contributors, and BRC is in good hands. And I know that because of the way I saw it operate in the last year. I was blown away at the number of people who personally helped me navigate this last year, whether it be a late night email exchange, a quick phone call, or just a needed voice. So thank you all for that. I'd also like to thank my wife, Allison, and my son, Sebastian. I know there were a few late nights where I just had to wrap up a few more emails. So thank you for your patience. And certainly I'd like to thank my dad for introducing me to the wheel. Having him here this spring was an amazing moment for both of us. And finally, I'd like to thank the club. The best part of being president is getting to know more of you and working with more of you and seeing all the great work that you're doing. You seriously are serving to change lives, and I never had any idea how much stuff happened in this club until you're the president of the club and you see everything, and it's phenomenal. So thank you for letting me be a part of that. It's been one of the biggest honors of my life, and I'm really glad I didn't go to the principal's office this time. So now the fun part. My last duty as president is one that I actually am probably going to enjoy maybe the most. I get to start by saying there aren't enough awards for the great contributors of this club this past year. The awards committee has one of the toughest jobs of any committee in the club. And one of my favorite things to do has been to think about these awards and to write up the descriptions for them about the members of the club. So let's get started with the awards. To start, we're going to do something a little bit different this year, and I'd like to ask our foundation president, Katie DeKeefer, to come up here and to give some awards on behalf of the BRCF.
Hi there, everyone. I just want to say it's been a real honor to lead our foundation over this past year. It's actually been a lot of fun. I love foundation work, and so for me, it feels like a second pair of shoes. I just wanted to first off, though, give you a brief summary of some of the accomplishments that we did during this past time. As Chad mentioned, we got to start this new event, and I want to thank my co-partner in crime, Miss Sally, for helping us so much with that. Monies are still coming in the door, but so far we have netted $55,000. And yeah. And I think that not only will we grow that in terms of community outreach, but we will certainly grow that in terms of dollars. So having put that on in about 4 months, I felt good about it, and I feel good going forward. This is going to sound kind of boring, but we revamped and redid our bylaws. And I know that doesn't sound like much fun, But our dear Susan Connolly took it upon herself to do that, and she did a great job, and it's not something that ever I could do. I'm not good at that, so I thank you, Susan. Because of Michael Connolly and Jim Rolfes, we started a governance committee, and again, that sounds pretty boring, but for the first time, we did a full retreat and held a pretty comprehensive orientation for our trustees. Not only did we teach the trustees that had been on the board for a while some of the things that we do, but we also were able to introduce our new trustees to that. So that worked out really well. I also want to thank Lena Kotke because she took on a lion's share of some of the work that we did this past year. We really looked at the way that we give out grants or money. Not only what we're going to be doing in the future for the community, but also internally. And our hope is to really grow that portion. So she spent an awful amount of time on that, and I just really want to give her a heartfelt thank you. And then lastly, Mike Brady took over our treasurer position and our fundraising chair position. And if anybody knows me, you know that I love to fundraise, and God bless him for doing that. He spent a lot of time changing some of the things that we've been doing and improving upon them, because at the end of the day, the trustees have the responsibility for overseeing our money that sits there, and it's a big pot of change. And it's our responsibility to make sure that that's held in good faith for all of you. So I want to thank Mike for doing that. And you know, these efforts, I know, like I said, they sound kind of boring. And that was one of the reasons why we didn't stand up here much and talk about the foundation much this past year. But under President Cassidy, we'll be doing that more often next year, or this upcoming year. But we really needed to put in or improve upon some of the great work that had been done in the past. So while you know that we maybe didn't stand up here much, we did a heck of a lot of work, and I'm really proud of what we accomplished. And as you all know, it's the teamwork that makes the dream work. And I felt like we had a great team of trustees that all sat around the table and helped us. And so I'd like them all to stand up and be recognized. I would like to acknowledge Lena and Michael McHale, who has now moved, and Kathy Policita, who will be leaving this year. And I want to welcome Sally Brown, who sat on the board previously in her role as our past president of the BRC, and now sits there as a current trustee, along with Bob Murphy and Danny Lindau. So I wanted to welcome them into our folds. So could we go ahead and please start the first slide of the slideshow? Oh, ta-da. Okay. Go ahead, I think, can we, I don't know. Yeah, we can go ahead and I think it does a little dance. Yeah, I promise it's okay. We started this award this year, and I want to thank Chad for letting us do that. There are a couple of positions that we felt, or people that we felt really needed to be recognized. And the first one is Michael. I want to give him a big round of applause. He is not here oh, okay, these got switched, never mind. The second one, or the first one now, is Dear Darla. One of the things that we wanted to recognize was the fact that we have people in this club who have given consistently and tremendously, not only of their talent, such as Darla has, but also of their treasure. And Darla, unfortunately, is traveling right now, and she couldn't be here today, but I wanted to give her a huge round of applause for being our outstanding donor. And now I bet you know who the second one is. Shoot. Anyway, Dear Michael is on a cruise with his family. He started in Rome and then went on a cruise. And I just wanted to say, on behalf of all of the trustees, you all know what Michael gives and how much he's done. But what I don't think people understand is how much he works behind the scenes. He has been doing our accounting for free over the last many years. He also has done our taxes. And if anybody's ever done a 990 for the nonprofit side, it's a pain in the gazoo. So putting back my CPA hat back on, it is a lot of work. So we really wanted to recognize him and give him a round of applause. And yes, because I'm the biggest loser, neither of them could be here today, but we will make sure that we get their plaques to them and honor them appropriately when they are both back in town. And then just to end this, I wanted to personally thank Chad for his leadership over the past year. He has really kept the foundation front and center, and it has been a real honor to work with him on the board. And not only has he done all the work that he had to spend so much time on for the BRC, he did a lot for the foundation as well, and I just wanted to say thank you. So we are excited about the upcoming year, and we look forward to a lot of fun. So I want to say thank you for this time today. And if ever any of you have any questions about anything that we do, please make sure you see one of the trustees, because we are happy to help. So thank you.
Can we get another round of applause for Kitty for all the work? Now on to the club awards. Carl, can I have you come up and help with the plaques here? So I think they're set up this way. So our first award is the Service Above Self Award, which is an award presented to a BRC member who was instrumental in implementing a significant project that impacted our world or our community. This year's recipient has been a Boulder Rotarian for 25 years. He was Rotarian of the Year in 2005 and won the Quiet Hero Award in 2010. He was the BRC president in 2016-17 and has helped our club receive significant amount of publicity in the last year with the 9 Miles Corner Pillar Project, a project that preserves the historical significance in Boulder County. This year's Service Above Self Award is Bill Meyer. Next is the Humanitarian Award, which is given to a Rotarian who has demonstrated a selfless devotion to serving others. This year's winner has been a Boulder Rotarian for 9 years. She chaired the Sister Carmen food drives during the pandemic and led tremendous efforts this year as the quick chair of our Quick Response Committee, helping to support recovery efforts in Haiti with the Shelter Box program, and closer to home, recovery efforts for the District 5450 with the Marshall County Fire recovery efforts. She was the 2020-2021 BRC president and has been a tremendous help to me personally as the past president of our club. This year's humanitarian award goes to Sally Brown. This year's RI Theme Award goes to the Rotarian who best exemplifies the theme, serve to change lives. And our recipient certainly has lived up to this motto. He's been a Boulder Rotarian since 2019. He's an expert in conflict resolution and co-chairs our Peace Building Committee. He's spent a life dedicated to building bridges of understanding, and he's always someone who gives great advice on a wide range of topics, and he does so with passion. This year's RI Theme Award goes to Mr. Randy Butler.
I clearly had no clue, or I would have dressed up. I at least took my hat off, but I also didn't wash my hair.
So this year, our club started a path towards multi-access meetings, where Zoom is a large part of the BRC experience. So we decided to create a new award given to a Rotarian who has made a significant impact while participating primarily remotely or supporting the remote participation of other club members. We are calling this award the Remotarian of the Year Award. One Rotarian went above and beyond to show just how possible virtual engagement can be. She's been a Boulder Rotarian for 6 years. She served on the board of directors from 2018 through 2020, and she co-chaired our signature event in 2018. During the pandemic, she moved to the web in Las Vegas, where she's remained an active member and an important part of our BRC meeting experience, proving that Zoom can be just as good as in the room. Our inaugural Remotarian of the Year Award goes to Nancy Chin Wagner. So next we have the President's Discretionary Awards, awards that I feel are important based on significant contributions to the club that others might not see. The first one goes to a Rotarian who is in her second stint with BRC, joining first on the same day I joined in 2012. She serves as the Foundation Secretary. She's an outgoing director on the BRC board, and her thoughtful guidance has been extremely important to this club and to me during the course of the last year. Her guidance as a board member has been tremendous, and she is a true sage of BRC. Susan Connolly. This next discretionary award goes to someone who has exemplified what it means to be engaged in the club during a year when engagement was so often in question. How we spend our time isn't an easy question to answer these days, and this individual chose to spend it with us. He was a regular at meetings. He attended just about every event that I could think of when I wrote this description, And most important, he did it with a Rotary can-do spirit and a blazing smile that I was always happy to see, that exemplifies what it means to be connected to BRC regardless of the circumstances. Mr. Polio Eradication and one of our most engaged members, Mr. Carl Tenstman. The final award for today is the Lifetime Achievement Award, and it's given in recognition of long and devoted service to Boulder Rotary and the ideas of Rotary International. And for me, I'm especially honored to present this year's award to two recipients who have been involved with Rotary for decades. Their past awards include the RI Theme Award, the Quiet Hero Award, the Service Above Self Award, and Rotary International's Partner Service Award, which is the highest honor given by RI to a non-Rotarian. They've hosted 14 different youth exchange students in addition to chaperoning our district's 2-week bus trip for 15 years. This year's Lifetime Achievement Award goes to my personal youth exchange mentors, Nancy and Scott Stockard. Thank you to all this year's award winners for your contributions and congratulations. We do have a few more awards to hand out for this year, but the reality is that there's too much fun to cram all in one day. Plus Cassidy told me she'd invite me back up to the podium, which if it hasn't been obvious, I kind of like. Before I ask our outgoing area governor, Mike Brady, to install our 2022-23 officers and directors, I'd like to take a moment to recognize this year's outgoing directors. Would Chris Coker, Susan Connolly, Kitty DeKeefer, and Valerie Lippitz please stand and be recognized? Thank you for your service to the club. Mike, it's all yours.
Could I have the screen up, please, Fred? I'm going to have them stand up here. Is that all right? There's a lot of directors that are on vacation right now. I mean, 2 years of COVID, lots of travel. But we will acknowledge every one of them, and some are on Zoom as well. Will the following directors please come forward or be recognized? Bill Anderson, on vacation. Jancy Campbell, come on up. Christina Louie, come on up. Linda Davidson, on Zoom. Norma Portnoy, on Zoom. Mike Simpson, not here today. Hans Wick, on vacation, also an incoming director. Come on up, guys. Why don't you come right up here? Can you turn on the lights here, too? Well, that is pretty far away. Maybe right in the middle. May I have the following officers come forward or be recognized. Treasurer Brad Weasley, not here today. Secretary Vanessa Mead, come on up. President-elect Carl Kurtz. And President Cassidy Murphy. And yeah, you guys don't have to come a little bit closer. No. Carl, Chad, Cassidy. Excellent. You have been elected to important positions in the administration of the Boulder Rotary Club. This is an indication of the club's esteem and confidence in all of you. They believe that you will uphold the high traditions of the club, that you will give the best of your executive ability to the furtherance of the interests of the club and the carrying forward of the Rotary objects. Will you fulfill the responsibilities of your offices to the best of your ability in accordance with the constitutional documents of this club? If so, you will each answer, I will. Cassidy. You have been elected to the office of President of the Boulder Rotary Club by its members. It is an expression of their confidence in your leadership. I now have the pleasure of administering to you the oath of office. Please repeat after me. I, Cassidy Murphy,
I, Cassidy Murphy,
as President of the Boulder Rotary Club,
as President of the Boulder Rotary Club,
will to the best of my ability
will, to the best of my ability,
administer the duties of the office of President
administer the duties of the office of President
in a business-like manner
in a business-like manner,
and in accordance with the club's constitution and bylaws.
in accordance with the club's constitution and bylaws.
Furthermore, I will give support and assistance
Furthermore, I will give support and assistance
to the district governor and to Rotary International.
to the district governor and Rotary International.
So say we all.
So say we all.
That's an inside joke if you guys don't get that. It's Battlestar Galactica. I bestow upon you this presidential pin as a symbol of your office.
Thank you, sweetie.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Cassidy Murphy. Incoming officers and directors, you have been selected by the members of this club to guide its affairs during the coming year. You have been entrusted with an important responsibility that will help shape our club's future. Please repeat after me. I state your full name. Yes, always one. Do accept and understand. Do accept and understand the charges of the office to which I am elected. And will work with diligence for the betterment of the club. I present to each of you the Rotary pin appropriate to your office.
So I'll go through.
Please congratulate your new officers and directors for the next Rotary year. To the outgoing officers and directors in the audience, though you are retiring from the administration of this club, your continued active involvement in the club is extremely important. On behalf of Rotary International, District 5450, and the Boulder Rotary Club, I want to thank you for all your hard work serving this club. Thank you. Past President Chad, I hereby declare the new officers and directors installed. You may now give President Cassidy the Kenyan Maasai War Club Rungu as symbolic of the transfer of the club's administration. Thank you.
Thank you. Nancy Chin Wagner did this once, and it was really great. I'm just going to say thank you. Hello, everybody. Say hello. Fred, can you start the? I just want to say, while we're waiting for the PowerPoint, I thought today was really fabulous. Thank you, Chad, for your thoughtful comments, the amazing awards. I know that it was a whole group of people who did that, and it just felt so lovely. And Bob, thank you. I'm actually here to talk to you about visioning, and I know many of you wanted an update about the process that was started in May. There are a number of individuals who have stood up and said, hey, we'd like to be part of this process, and I want to thank you very much, because this is going to be really important. 3 years, maybe 4 years ago when we did the visioning the last time, it was the committee of people who came together afterwards to make this visioning happen, and it put in place so many of the things that have made Boulder Rotary such a wonderful and welcoming place. So thank you for your commitment to this process. We could not do this without you. That being said, thank you very specifically to Carl Kurtz and Chad Stam, who got together while I was sick and collated the many, many amazing ideas to say, here are the 5 things that we think might be worth looking at in the coming 3 years. The first one is community connection. This is characterized by things like the Service Above Self dinner that we had this spring, but it's also things like crayons to calculators and Adelante and the many food drives that we had during the pandemic. All of those things connect us to the community, and we want to continue that and deepen those connections. The next thing is Ukraine. Ukraine is one of those issues that came up without any warning necessarily that we were privy to. It has impacted people all over the world. Our members want to know about the people, the place, and we want to know how to help those people. That is one of the areas of focus going into the next 3 years. And it might be Ukraine itself. Hopefully that's the only war that happens, but it might not be. It might be another war that we have to respond to. But how we respond is one of the areas that our Rotarians are most concerned about. Go to the next one. We'll try it again. Okay, this is an important one. Rotary Foundation and the Boulder Rotary Foundation. So what's the difference? Why are there 2? It is an ugly secret in my life that when I came to Boulder Rotary as a new member, I did not know. And it did not feel like something I could talk about, just because everybody seemed to know what the difference between these 2 really important foundations were. I think that I am not alone in that misunderstanding. We have identified the work of the foundations, both Rotary Foundation and the Boulder Rotary Foundation, as being pivotal to absolutely everything we do. It's where we put our money, how it is amplified and given back to Rotary clubs in general and Boulder Rotary in particular. We need to make this information as available and transparent as people need, because this is how we work. And the word foundation, hi Bill, the word foundation is perfect in this context because it is our foundation. It is the foundation of how we do the important work in the community that we do. So, next one. This one is how we illustrate the work that our members are doing, and that's not just for the community, it's also for ourselves. We need to know what the committees are doing, what work they're doing. I just sat in on the PPE today. The work that people are doing in this one club is phenomenal, amazing, and we need to share it. We need to get it into the Rotary Magazine, into the papers. Thank you, Bill Meyer, for all you've done. And that's one of the areas that all of the people doing the visioning identified as something that we need to focus on. And the last thing, which Fred's going to help me with, is members. I harped on that in my initial talk with you guys, and it comes back to this. Our members are such a fantastic community. They have built Boulder Rotary, and we need to take care of them. Every member is unique. We have to take time, we have to take care, and we have to nurture these relationships. It's incredibly important. We are working on this one actually right now. And in the next few weeks, we're going to be rolling out some of the terrific ideas that were given to us in visioning. And I'm not going to spoil the surprise, even though I would really like to. I would like to now give a shout out to two other things. Peace Builders and the World Community Service Committee. In two different, very different ways, these committees committed to doing a focus, a visioning, a way to look at what their resources and their members want to do in the world. Alessandro has already laid out a number of areas that the World Community Service Committee is going to be working at, and it's amazing. And we're going to take time to do a specific rundown of that later. And Peace Builders came together in a retreat that was an amazing sharing of the commitment to peace that this club holds. So that's our visioning. We are going to continue to update you through the year. Several members are helping us. Thank you so much. And if you are motivated by this strategic plan, if you're interested, we would love to have you. And you can talk to me, you can talk to Chad, you can talk to Carl Kurtz, you can talk to Brian Vickers when he's back. We're all there for you. And it is our chance to imagine Rotary as we go forward. That's it. All right, I want to say thank you so much for this meeting. It's been fabulous. I'm going to say thank you to Sally and to Mitch, who were on the front door, to Vanessa and Judy, who helped us check in, to Jancy, who did our visitor introductions, to Fred and Bill, our new cameraman, Bill, he's awesome, and to Mike Brady, who made our inductions happen, and to everyone who is online, and thank you. And now I get to ring the bell for the very first time. Meeting